So we're here primarily to try and encourage people my age or, year 11, 12, uni students to get into the power industry. So why should they get into power industry? What's your perspective on why they should come?
Well, energy is such a massive part of our lives. And it has been for a long time. And the energy industry has always been very big.
It's an imperative service to all consumers by providing a vital service of electricity. And then, I guess, in addition to that, the potential to actually influence and shape how the power system is developed and operated through my role in the industry, and at AEMO specifically, is something that really excites me.
We all need energy to fuel us, to get us up every day to come to work. What does energy mean to you, and what does it mean to have good energy?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, from a personal perspective, having good energy, obviously, how we interact with others and how we work and present ourselves. Having good energy to me means being present and authentic in your interaction. So that's from a hearts and minds perspective. But good energy in an energy transition context means, I guess, harnessing the powers that that are renewable in nature, that already exist, like your wind and solar, and using that and turning it into energy for us to continue our lives in the way that we're accustomed.
But what we're seeing now with the energy transition is we need to go back, and in a relatively short time, we need to re-engineer, rebuild, and retool a system that was built over a century, but in a very short amount of time. So everything from the fact that it is really exciting and interesting, through to the fact that there's going to be a lot of jobs. And let's be honest, we all
we all need jobs.
We all need jobs, right? And I think for people, young folk who wanting to look at an industry to work in, this is a really exciting one. There's never a dull day. There's always really exciting things happening.
So did you have any involvement in the weather kind of incident we had last week?
What we look to do is really as quickly as we can, usually in about a week, in this case 3 business days, which was a major achievement, get the key facts out to industry around what's occurred. Some of the misinformation that we were hearing through the media related to the role of renewables in the event, related to the transmission towers effectively causing 500,000 people to lose power, whereas these were really events that were all related back to the weather event, but the 500,000 customers off supply was related to distribution network impacts rather than the transmission tower faults that occurred.
It was a pretty exciting role actually, because when talking about commitment, and this happens at AEMO too, when there's an emergency, you get a huge amount of collaborative and supportive commitment, and people just have the ability to shine, and it doesn't matter what role you play in your normal job. Under emergency situation, everyone has a role to play.
The other thing is, there's a broad range of jobs in energy. Everything from what I do, which to be honest is, very much, I don't know how to use a calculator really.
You're highly skilled though.
Well, thank you. You're very kind, but not in the technical sense, right?
No.
And everything through to those sorts of jobs, through to ones that are, incredibly technical. People who need to design or construct transmission towers.
Yeah.
These things are 80 metres tall. They've got to survive storms. They've got to survive, being out in the weather for decades and decades. There's some really interesting stuff all the way through that spectrum.
Yeah.
But in terms of challenges for the energy transition, because what we don't want is that these big projects disturb our heritage and our particularly our Indigenous culture, and cause a greater environmental impact than the impact that we're trying to mitigate.
So is the transmission network ready for all the synchronous machines to go offline?
It's a good question. I think the engineering know-how is there. The solutions are there. We need transmission, with energy supplied by renewable, backed up by storage from hydro and batteries.
Cool. So what's the best part of your job? What do you enjoy most?
Dealing with people.
Yeah, you're a people person, I can tell.
Yeah, I just love the team, spending time with the team, spending time with the energy companies,
Yep.
the people investing in the energy system, spending time with consumers when we can, and that's what I like most. But I'm also a bit of an energy. I've been in energy for a long time,
Okay.
so I'm a bit of an energy nerd. Unfortunately, I have no engineering or mathematical skills, which is why I find myself in communications.
Yeah, but we need people in those realms.
Well, you'd like to think so.
Absolutely. I think whether you're thinking about getting involved as an engineer on the technical side or even more on the project management side, on the IT side and software development side, there's opportunities really across the whole spectrum of roles that go into enabling the transformation and the operation of the power system. And so certainly would be very encouraging to anyone who's contemplating a career in energy.
The advice I'd give to me is, get into the energy industry as soon as you can. Just because I've really found my home here. I think, I've always worked in sort of more technical roles or in more technical organisations, but the energy industry, I guess, is in, I think, greater need for unique skills and also diversity.
Awesome, and it sounds like there's plenty of opportunities too, from what you've been saying.
A huge amount. There's so much happening. You've probably heard this many times, but we're going through a once-in-a-generation transformation of the industry. We need a lot of new ideas, new technologies being developed and implemented, massive amount of change. We're replacing all of the retiring legacy generators with new technology. There's a whole lot of organisations that go into delivering those projects and then ultimately operating those projects and evolving the power system to really make the most of those new renewable resources that are connecting. So a huge amount of opportunity across the energy industry at the moment.
So that leads me to what I would advise my boys is actually consider a diverse area that you still have interest in, but what skills could you bring to an area of work that are more diverse so that you can contribute to that industry or that workplace or that project through your diverse thinking.
Yeah, great. That's it. Thanks very much for your time, Claire.
No worries.
Cool.
Thank you, Alex.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Luke. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for having me, Evie.
It's been fantastic to talk to you, Paul. Thank you very much for spending time with us and making time out of your busy day. I have no doubt you have a lot of work to get back to.
No, thank you. It was really good. And like I said, just encourage everyone. Energy is just a really, really, really interesting place to work.
Oh, it is. I can vouch for that.
Done.
Cheers.
So what was this for again? What are you going to do with it?
It was for the Australian Power Institute, who set up this internship for myself and a few other interns.
Yeah.
Yes, Evie was one of those. She just finished up last week though, so she's going to focus on her studies and then perhaps reapply for the grad program. I guess the API they kind of exist a lot to help further people's careers in the industry and also to encourage young engineers into the industry. And so I guess they saw that as a great opportunity for us to create something that could hopefully, the young people are interested in, gets them interested in energy and power and AEMO and whatnot.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It's a very, noble and useful undertaking.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks very much, Claire. Yeah, you too. I'll see you around.
See ya.
That was good.